no! The International is happening, but I don't know anything about the teams! How am I gonna keep up with all the exciting twists and turns? Oh, everyone at work is gonna laugh at me. And then they're gonna make me wear the mask of shame. Hey, simmer down, hot skillet, because I've been spending way too much of my time researching all the teams playing in the International, and I'm gonna tell you about every single one of them. But before we start, just know that this is going to be a quick rundown of all the teams, and if you want to know more about any of these teams in detail, check out the team profiles on liquiddota.com or the International Download series by Sir Action Slacks. Oh, and if you want the contents of this video without the memery or my horrible voice, there's a link to a written version in the description box. Okay, that covers it. And away we go! First, we're going to cover the teams that got a direct invite to the International, starting with Virtus Pro, Region, CIS. Thought the CIS region was down and out just because Navi's glory days are over? Well, think again, baby, because Papa Bear's coming home! After they didn't even qualify for TI last year, Virtus Pro has a whole new squad with seasoned Russian and Ukrainian players plucked from Vega Squadron and Team Empire, as well as returning VP support, Lil. At the head of VP, you got veteran player Solo, aka Mr. 322, still trying to shake the scandal that got him temporarily banned from Star Ladder when he bet against his own team for $322 in a 2013 tournament, thus spawning a meme for when a player messes up so bad, it looks like they're intentionally throwing the match. But Solo's done a lot of growing in the last few years, and is now proving himself as one of the most successful captains in Dota. While VP play with typical CIS aggression, rotating Lil from lane to lane and following up with pressure from carry player Ramsey666 and mid laner No One, their most frightening feature is their sheer flexibility. In the Summit 7 in June, they beat Team Secret for first place while playing a bamboozling 81 different heroes over 17 games. Why did they do that? Seemingly just to prove they're that badass. OG, Region, Europe.
Sponsored by Red Bull.
Born from the true, pure friendship between support player Fly and carry No Tail, OG looked like they were going to be a force at TI last year until the dream got cut short by Dark Horse team TNC Gaming, who knocked OG out to the lower middle of the pack. But brohams are forever, and this year OG is back with 3 new teammates. In the mid lane, fresh-faced 17-year-old Australian Anna. In the off lane, former Team Secret member and previous TI winner with Alliance S4. And in the no lane, because he's a roaming support, former Team Liquid member and the original Earth Spirit god, Jerax. This lineup has a frighteningly good track record. Out of the 6 major championships Valve has hosted, OG has won 4 of them, including both of the ones since TI6. However, in the past couple of months, they've been faltering a bit, losing tournaments to Newbie, LFY, and Faceless, who aren't even a team anymore. Come on, guys! Can they bring back the magic by the time the moment of truth arrives? I hope so, cause God, look at these guys! They're so friggin' adorable! Invictus Gaming, Region, China. One of the oldest esports organizations at TI7, Invictus Gaming hasn't really been in top form since they won TI2 in 2012. They didn't even make it to TI last year, getting knocked out of the Chinese qualifiers, but this year they're back, and they have a direct invite thanks to their dominating play at the Dota Asia Championships. With talent like this, it's not hard to see why. Their carry is none other than the B-God, Burning. He's been playing professionally since 2008 and comes armed with 4,000 years of Chinese Dota flowing through his veins. Though his classic playstyle of farming hard to hypercarry the late game doesn't work so well this patch, he's been expanding to heroes who can fight earlier like Weaver, Phantom Assassin, and Clinks. The other veteran on the team is their captain and support player Q, who took second place with Team CDEC at TI5 and is the current source of IG's strategic power. The rest of their players come from IG's youth squad, IG Vitality, mid-player Op, offlaner XXS, and roamer the Clown Prince Baboka, whose slippery Monkey King and Ricky plays make the enemy team look like a pack of absolute doofuses. Currently, they're in a little bit of a slump, but it's possible that they're just saving their best strats for the big event. Team Liquid, Region, Europe. After readjusting their lineup a little following a disappointing finish at last year's TI, Team Liquid have spent most of this year on fire, getting first place at big tournaments like Epicenter, Dream League 7, the Starladder Star Series, and the Starladder I-League Invitational. In late 2016, they brought in highly respected former OG player Miracle to be their mid laner, but it was in January when they added relatively unknown Lebanese support player GH that really got Liquid to click. The 2 new players are backed by Team Liquid mainstays Carry Matumba Man and offlaner Mind Control, and led by support player and veteran of every international tournament, Kuroki. Sporting incredible levels of teamwork and a strong base of players, 4 of whom have been to TI before, 2017 could be the year that Liquid are doing it. Evil Geniuses. Region, North America. Another team with a long legacy like Invictus Gaming, EG made North America proud when they won TI5 in 2015, claiming the region's first international victory. People who remember that year will see familiar faces Sumail, the teenage wonderkind who takes over the mid lane with mobile heroes like Queen of Pain and Puck, and Universe, veteran of every international event and bringer of the $6 million Echo Slam.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster!
Joining them is longtime EG associate Zai as a support, former OG player Crit also as a support, and wait, can it be? The Sultan of Salt, the Baron of Baby Rage, the original sad boy himself, RTZ! Yes, after 2 years of playing internationals with Team Secret, carry player RTZ is back where he belongs, now older and wiser than before. None of these guys have less than 4 years of experience in professional Dota. Well, except for Sumail, but I think he can be forgiven. Meaning EG is one of the most battle-hardened teams on the lineup. Also one of the most successful, sporting a TI win and 2 third-place finishes over the past 3 years. Coached by the legendary retired EG carry and TI winner Old Man Fear, Evil Geniuses might just be the first team in history to take the Aegis twice. Newbie. Region, China. In 2014, Newbie went from new team to TI winners in just 6 months, deathballing their way to victory. In 2015 and 2016, though, their performance was less than stellar, leading to speculation that maybe Newbie was just great at that particular patch rather than an amazing team overall. However, going into TI7, they seem to have found a good combination under the leadership of seasoned IG support and winner of TI2, Faith. And this year they've had a consistent string of top 3 finishes and lands. Remnants of that deathball mentality are still around, as early on Faith and fellow support Kaka rotate aggressively to help their carry player Mugi and mid laner SCCC. Offlaner KPII tries to draw attention by himself in the offlane, but in the mid-game he joins his team as they roam and commit to pickoff so that they can take objectives with an advantage. Faith is able to adapt this plan to a variety of situations, so while they may not be first-place material, they still have the tools to do very well. Alright, so that's the invited teams done. Now we're going to move on to the teams who got a spot in TI thanks to winning one of the regional qualifiers. And we're going to start with Cloud9, Region, North America. Last year, Eternal Envy, former Cloud9 captain and top 10 anime betrayals winner, put together a team called Team NP that largely consisted of his former teammates. After winning the North American qualifiers and making it to TI7, Team NP got officially picked up by Cloud9, making their squad this year look a lot like the team Cloud9 fielded for TI4. As a team, they like lineups that can go aggressive early while still transitioning well into late game, gaining level and gold advantage through superior lane control. In general, Envy likes mobile carries who can go deep and fight early like his signature Ember Spirit. Offlaner MSS gets surprisingly high farm priority and plays greedy heroes like Legion Commander and Enigma. Fata focuses on keeping mid under control. Ali 2000, who won TI5 with EG, roams to cause chaos, and Pylai Dai sacrifices everything to keep his teammates safe in their lanes. They've done respectably well in tournaments leading up to the International, so if you've still got a blue and white shirt in your closet, now's a good time to put it on. Digital Chaos, Region, North America. Digital Chaos definitely lived up to their name last year when, after a string of mediocre LAN results, they brought the ruckus and got second place at TI6. This year, after getting second at the North American qualifiers, they step up to TI7 with a whole new squad, mostly made up of former members of Team Onyx. As their carries, they have Mason, playing in his first TI since 2014 when he played with EG, and Abed, a young Filipino who's probably one of the most individually skilled players in the game right now, and is definitely the most feared Meepo player in the world. In the offlane and position 5 support roles are Farev and Dubu, respectively, both Korean players from MVP Phoenix who did well at TI6 last year. But the player to watch is their captain and position 4 support, Bulba. A lot of the heroes popular in position 4 right now, like Clockwork and Sand King, are heroes you typically find in the offlane, and Bulba used to play offlane for a number of top-tier teams. As such, he has a unique understanding of these characters that most position 4 players lack, giving him an edge in an important and playmaking role. Infamous, Region, South America. In previous international qualifier tournaments, the Americas all got lumped into one big region, meaning South American teams had to face North American teams to get a TI spot. This wasn't really fair because South America just doesn't have the same esports infrastructure that the US and Canada have, so they don't get the same level of practice and financial support. This year, though, Valve gave South America its own qualifier, and its winner, Infamous, will be the first Peruvian team to play at an international event. The squad consists of captain and carry Benjaz, the closest South America has to a veteran carry player, offlaner King Tekka, their shot caller who plays a nasty bat rider, mid laner Tomato, only 16 years old but a commanding player who's a major source of the team's strength, Position 5 support Excel, who has the most tournament experience, and Position 4 support Matthew, the least experienced player on the team, who only played his first big esports tournament a couple of months ago. Now, I'm not gonna lie and tell you Infamous have a good shot at TI. They just don't have much experience facing world-class teams. However, this is a great chance for the players to distinguish themselves. And even if Infamous places last, they'll still get a bigger payday than any they've ever gotten before. No matter how they do, this is probably the start of something big for South American Dota. Team Secret. Region, Europe. Even though it was originally billed as a super team and is currently one of the most well-known brands in Dota, competitively, Secret has had a lot of ups and downs. They win a lot of LANs, but it seems like when the big moment comes, Secret has a habit of choking. And so far, the international dream just hasn't materialized for them. Coupled with a scandal last year when former players Eternal Envy and Misery accused Secret of taking a percentage of player pay without telling them, Secret has been on rocky ground. This year, they once again go into the International with a stable of great players. As always, leading the team is Puppy, who won the first TI with Navi and has attended every TI since then. He's a master at drafting, picking heroes who can fill a variety of roles so the enemy team can't anticipate Secret's exact game plan. Puppy usually roams with fellow support Yapzor, leaving self-reliant safe lane carry MP to fend for himself. With the roaming supports, offlaner Kezu and mid laner Mid1 are free to pick fighting or farming heroes, knowing they can reliably get help. There's a lot of talent on Team Secret, but it remains to be seen if they can turn that talent into a trophy. Hellraisers, Region, Europe. The last team to qualify for TI7 was definitely a weird one. They were called Planet Dog. They formed a week before the EU Open qualifiers, and they were named after an American dog toy company and used their logo. Was this their sponsor? No, they were completely unrelated. Everyone was confused as shit. Until Hellraisers came in and signed the team, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. The newly bona fide Hellraisers squad hails from 5 different countries, and marks the first time a Greek player, a Serbian player, and a Bosnian player will compete at a TI. As a team, Hellraisers haven't really been together long enough to have a particular style, but they do seem to like goon squatting, with heavy rotations anchored by their roaming support Milan, who loves playing Night Stalker. How will they do? I don't know, but you know, I kind of miss their old name already. Bring back Planet Dog! Team Empire. Region, CIS. Empire is one of Russia's biggest esports organizations, and they're going to be representing the CIS region along with invited team Virtus.pro. Though they aren't a top-tier team, Empire has done alright at a few LANs this season, getting second in the Russian Esports Cup behind Virtus.pro. They also got second at the Mr. Cat Invitational Europe, with first going to, Virtus.pro again. And in May, they won the Lootbet Invitational, getting them a slot in the Summit 7. But unfortunately, they were knocked out early, and the tournament ultimately went to, oh wow, look who it is again! Empire is captained by Maposhka, who tends to send himself, Roger, and Ghostic offlane, while Effin holds down middle, and Carry Chappie fends for himself in the safe lane on a hero with good jungle potential like Lifestealer. They're a good team for the region, and congrats to them for beating Vega Squadron to win the CIS qualifiers, but it's going to be a tough fight for them to place well. Hey, at least they have the best Twitter guy in the game, right? IG Vitality. Region, China. Vitality is Invictus Gaming's youth squad, the junior varsity team, if you will. Don't let that description fool you into thinking IG Vitality are just a bunch of kids playing in a grown-up tournament, though, because these guys can run with the big dogs. They placed 4th in the Dota 2 Asia Championships, going 2-0 against EG and winning a game against IG, showing they can take games off of world-class teams. Vitality is, like most of the Chinese teams, a mix of old and new players. Captain and offlaner Injuly and defensive support Super both have over 5 years of pro Dota under their belts, and their game sense helps their new players shine. The roaming support dogfights like stealth heroes like Ricky and plays a particularly scary bounty hunter. Paparazzi is one of the best carry players in the world. Formerly of the team Wait, hold on a second. Immortal Magneto Gaming? Oh my god, that's the best name for a team I've ever seen. Anyway, he beat Sumail and Miracle in a 1v1 challenge, proving that he is a player to watch on the world stage. And Sakata, their mid laner, also from Immortal Magneto, love that name, plays heroes like Razor and Storm Spirit who become hard to pin down nuisances through tankiness or mobility. Though IGV may just be a secondary squad, there's a decent chance they'll show up at least one favorite at the International. LGD Gaming. Region, China. LGD is a fixture at the International. They've been there every single year since 2012. Sure, they've had some off years, but never off enough to keep them from a TI. This year, though, LGD is playing without Zhao 8, aka the Director, their captain from the last 2 years and one of the most respected players in China. Filling his boots is Yao, a 5-time TI veteran who has played with LGD for over 5 years collectively. Yao is currently acting as LGD's defensive support, but he's played a variety of roles over his pro career, so he can switch positions in a pinch. He's the most experienced player on LGD by a few years, but mid laner Maybe and new pickup Old 11, formerly of Team eHome and Immortal Magneto, have both been playing for a few years. Ame and Victoria, both recruits from CDEC Youth, round out the team as the carry and roaming support. It's going to be a hard fight without the Director's ability to play from behind for a comeback victory, but LGD has done well without Zhao 8 before, and there's no reason to think they can't do well without him now. LGD Forever Young. Region, China. Yeah, LGD got 2 teams through the Chinese qualifiers. No invites? No problem. Like IG's youth squad, LGD Forever Young, or LFY for short, isn't just a bunch of kids playing some doters. They have a real old-timer in their ranks with support player DDC, who has been to every international. Mid laner Super, no not that Super, another Super, spelled with a capital S, is no spring chicken either, participating in 4 TIs over his career. For the rest of the team, carry Monet, offlaner Inflame, and other support Afu, this is their first time at the rodeo. LFY's general plan is pretty typical for Chinese Dota, revolving around rotations from supports and Inflame, while Super plays a tough laning mid like Death Prophet or Pugna. Monet uses the space created to farm up with a hero who can fight early like Weaver or Lycan, and then he joins his team taking objectives around the map. One problem, though, is that Monet isn't that experienced and has problems with consistency that even an expert strategist like DDC can't fix. Even still, LFY is a team to watch out for, and very nearly as capable as their bros on LGD. TNC Pro Team. Region, Southeast Asia. Last year, no one expected TNC to do well at TI6. They wound up finishing in the top 8, beating out teams like OG, Liquid, and Newbie. That team was made of 4 Filipino players captained by North American veteran Demon. This year, TNC is using the same formula, swapping out Demon for sometime player, sometime coach 1437, who uses his 5 years of pro Dota experience to make sure the team is always making strides toward victory. He plays supports like Oracle, Silencer, and an absolutely disgusting Jakiro that can set up kills for carry player Raven, who usually ends up with a ton of kills by the end of the game. Apart from that, offlaner Sam H uses heroes who can initiate and disrupt, Cuckoo just plays a very solid mid lane, and Tim's, the position 4 support and greenest player on the team, plays standard roaming heroes like Earth Spirit. TNC are the pride of Pinoy Dota, and definitely a team to watch to see if they can repeat their success from last year. Execration. Region, Southeast Asia. And the winner of the logo with the most obvious copyright infringement award goes to... Like TNC, Execration are a Filipino team. Unlike TNC, they've never done well in a TI before. After qualifying last year, they lost out in the wildcard match to European team Escape Gaming and didn't move on to the main event. They're a team that can attract players with a lot of raw talent. Abed from Digital Chaos and Tims from TNC both used to play for them, and this year they sport some of the Philippines' best players. Bimbo is known for being an amazing mid player, though he's currently their offlane. Nando has a reputation as a fantastic carry, and RR regularly makes 6 support plays in games. What Execration lacks is experience and organization. Chemo, the team's captain, is the only player they have with TI experience, and their mid laner Cartman hasn't played on a pro team before. Even worse, 3 of the players on the team just joined in June, so they can't have that much experience playing as a team. Fnatic. Region, Southeast Asia. If you're looking for a team that can turn a pro game into a pub stomp, look no further. Fnatic takes C aggression to a whole new level, starting fights before the creeps spawn, diving towers, and racking up tons of kills, both for them and their opponents. After losing a few really good players after TI6, Fnatic picked up Korean players Ko and Febi from MVP Phoenix and Ajit from the Malaysian Dota scene to fill in the gap. Ko, their mid laner, goes man mode constantly, running the enemy team down with characters like PA and Bloodseeker to try and start snowballing, while support Febi backs him up. Fellow support and team captain DJ handles the ward buy-in and courier upgrading, but still plays some pretty aggressive heroes like Witch Doctor and Warlock. Carry player Ajit plays an incredibly wide array of different characters in position 1, even some heroes that Ko normally uses just to mess with their opponents. And offlaner Ohio just consistently locks down his lane. While it's going to be hard for Fnatic to beat their performance last year when they finished 4th at TI6, at the very least you can bet they're going to go down swinging. And rending. And tearing. And just generally bathing in the blood of their enemies. Because that's how they roll. Whew, okay, that wraps it up. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like or subscribe to my channel.